It's a football Friday. First one for the NFL, second for college. It's good to be back talking about pro football. How you doing, Deuce?
Can't complain, really good. A lot of stuff going on. One of the better weekends coming up.
League champion for golf. Maryland's been put on notice. Maybe there's a shot that I don't have a podcast partner in a couple weeks as you prepare for the Ryder Cup.
We'll see. I have my phone near me. I usually keep it on silent. I turn on the volume in case I get a Furyk number pop up.
Your thoughts on what we've seen so far at Aronimink?
It's August or September in the Northeast, so it's going to be prime for scoring. But I think the course looks great. I watched some of the highlights this morning. Didn't see much yesterday. Course looks phenomenal. Gil Hansen did an awesome job. I think it's showing off well, and the leaderboard is absolutely stacked right now. So I would assume the tour has no complaints either.
What happens Monday when Captain Furyk takes the podium?
I think he's a little bit nervous right now. Last time we talked, I said if Kisner or Xander Schauffele were to win this week, then that would probably be the only way Tony Finau got left off. Finau shot 68, 64 and is at 8 under, and Schauffele is in the lead, so he's at 13 under. So I think Furyk now is in a little bit of a pickle.
If you were a betting man, who is the pick?
If Schauffele were to win?
Yes.
I think if he wins, he's the pick.
Is there any way Finau's still the pick? Do you see any way Finau's still the pick with the Schauffele win?
I think if he can, top three it, I think maybe he's still the guy. If he's 10th, 12th, something like that, and Schauffele wins, I think they're going to go with the guy that closed the door, so to speak.
Seeing U.S. minus 120, Europe plus 130. Your thoughts?
I'm still buying. I have no change. The Finau Schauffele pick doesn't change anything for me.
And now that we've seen a round and somewhat of round two, your pick, who holds up the trophy at Aronimink on Sunday?
I picked Rose, I believe.
Correct.
At the beginning of the week. He just made birdie on 16, so he's only 2 back. I'm going to stick with my original pick. I see no reason to waver.
Sounds good. Full slate of college football action tomorrow. Not too many great games, but we do have a couple. 2 and 4 official picks last week. Let's go through the top 25 and you tell me your thoughts, and we'll see if we can come up with a couple officials. Tonight we get TCU, 16th ranked. They're playing SMU. This opened 19.5. It's up to 22.5. TCU with Ohio State on deck.
I wish they did not have Ohio State on deck because I like TCU here. The line has crept up, though, to the point where I don't like it as much, but I would lean TCU.
I'm with you as well. I think Patterson comes out and tries to get this team going, get in a rhythm for next week. I would lean TCU as well, but nothing strong there.
Yeah, I think I'm in the same spot.
Western Michigan goes to the big house as Michigan tries to rebound from last week's loss. The 21st ranked Wolverines open 25.5. They're up to 27.5.
I don't want anything to do with Michigan at any point the rest of the year. I can never get the right side on them for some reason with Harbaugh at the helm.
I wish I could decipher what that quarterback situation is, but I think I lean Michigan here. Borderline like Michigan. I I think their offensive line will look better than it did last week against a pretty good Notre Dame front seven. I think they get it going this week.
Interesting.
New Mexico goes to Wisconsin. The 5th-ranked Badgers open 34.5 up to 35.
I liked them last week to roll. I think it's a similar situation. I don't see any reason why they're not going to score 50-plus here.
You like them official?
No, it's just a lean right now.
All right, I like Wisconsin this week. I think they roll.
Yeah.
12 o'clock start. That would be my only hesitation on Wisconsin. Mississippi State, 18th ranked, goes to the Fighting Snyders. Mississippi State opened 7.5 up to 8. A couple weeks ago, this was a 3.5 line.
You were down on the Snyders to start the year. I think this might be the only possible good spot we might get them in. That line has moved a lot. I feel like maybe a little bit too much. This could be my heart speaking, but I lean with the home team.
I hate what happened last week to K-State, losing to South Dakota. This would have been an annihilator play on Mississippi State. So right now, it's just a lean on Mississippi State.
Annihilator.
UCLA and Chip Kelly 0-1. They go to Boomer Sooner after putting up 70 last week. 56 on FAU. They opened 25.5 up to 30.
I was going to say, I don't know what it is at now, but 25.5, I would bloodbath guarantee it. I don't see any way UCLA keeps this within 4 touchdowns. I think the difference in athlete here is going to be just jump off the screen. I think this is going to be a pound pounder.
If Chip Kelly decides to run that Chip Kelly offense, Oklahoma could score 100 if they wanted.
Yes, exactly. I don't know what UCLA is going to do to slow the game down, because that's clearly not what they're going to be.
So leans on Oklahoma or official?
I would lean it. I guess if we want to keep it under 31, we might have to buy it.
I'll start it. We can come back. Rutgers goes to the Horseshoe. 4th-ranked Buckeyes open 34. They're up to 35. As we mentioned, they have TCU next week.
Yeah, I was on Ohio State last week. They came through with a little bit of a look-ahead spot, maybe a little bit of an emotional, not letdown, but I think they were gassed up last week. I'm going to stay away this week.
I agree with you there. I think that's well said. Those are my thoughts exactly. A good one in South Carolina. Georgia, number 3 ranked, opened 9. It is up to 10.
I want to lean. My gut last week was to lean South Carolina. I almost want to flip-flop and lean Georgia now, just because I think it's going to be sort of a popular play as an underdog for South Carolina. But I think I'm going to stay away.
I think this is a tease candidate if you like Georgia.
Yes.
So that's where I would lean. I think the 10's a good number. I agree with you. There seems to be too many people talking about South Carolina right now. I know they usually play Georgia well, especially in South Carolina, but I don't like the amount of public on South Carolina.
Yeah, exactly.
Ball State goes to Notre Dame coming off the big win against Michigan. Notre Dame opened 34.5. It has remained 34.5.
I am a little surprised at how high this line is. I thought it would be kind of 28-9-ish. Notre Dame usually doesn't get the respect of taking teams to pound, but I don't know. Maybe a little letdown after big win last week. I wish it was a tick higher, but I don't know. Ball State, it looks a little bit of attractive here.
I think if you're playing it, Ball State's the play. I just don't know if I could do it.
No, I don't have balls to do it.
Clemson goes to Jimbo Fisher and the Aggies. Clemson opened 11 and is up to 12.
familiarity with Jimbo and Dabo. They know each other well. Obviously, Florida State Clemson played every year. I want to like Clemson, and if you like them, I could probably get on. But again, I'm being cautious in college this week. I'm going to stay away, I think.
I liked Clemson early in the week. I don't love the line, though.
Yeah, it's kind of a no man's land line.
I may be able to get behind a Georgia-Clemson tease.
Oh, that's interesting. That might have some possibilities.
I'll start it. We'll come back. Penn State goes to Pitt. Penn State opened -9. They're now 8.5.
This is your team, so you get to swing at it.
My homerness has not treated us well, so last Friday it would have been Penn State -15. I don't know how much of an overreaction it is that it's down to 8.5. It's a rivalry game. I think this is Pitt's Super Bowl, so I would stay away.
Alright, that's kind of where I was leaning to start, but I wanted to hear your thoughts.
USC, Stanford, Trojans, 17th ranked, go to the tree. Tree ranked 10. Stanford opened -4. It's jumped to 6.
I did not like either of these teams to start the year. Pretty harsh on USC. We cashed UNLV covering last week. I was also down on Stanford, though. And I feel like this line is fairly low. I know you said it jumped to 6, but I think I might actually this might be the only week of the year I like USC.
Jeez, that's scary because I feel the same way.
Uh-oh.
I thought UNLV's got a good running game with Armani Rogers. I thought Stanford looked pretty bad against San Diego State, though, especially the line. I thought San Diego State controlled the trenches. If not for a couple throws to the Stanford receiver with 2 last names, I don't even know how to pronounce it. He caught a couple jump balls that really swung the game. I would lean Trojans.
I'm with you. I was worried about the Stanford front 7 coming into the year. Their offensive line looked a little weaker than I thought it would, so both lines on a David Shaw team below average. I think that could spell trouble season long, but especially in a game like this where USC's front 7 is really good.
Yeah, especially defensively. I think USC, the secondary is improved for USC. I think if they control the trenches, they're going to win this game.
I'm with you.
Is this an official?
It is.
USC +6 official.
Yeah.
And the late game featuring a ranked team is Sparty, 15th ranked. Survived a scare from Utah State last week. They go to Arizona State, open 6.5, down to 6.
I think this is my favorite play of the week. I like Arizona State here. Michigan State has been terrible as a road favorite the past 4 or 5 years. This will be a late start out west for them, for their internal clock. I don't love Arizona State as a team, but I think they have a pretty good offensive trio of experience to kind of keep this game close and/or win it outright.
I leaned Michigan State until I heard those points.
The actual stat is Michigan State is 1-8 against the spread as a road favorite over the past 4 years.
Wow.
The game kicks off at 7:45 Arizona time. That's nearly 11 o'clock Michigan State time zone. And Arizona State 5-2 as a home dog past 3 years.
That's a lean Arizona State right now, but I think I may be able to get behind an official come Saturday.
Well, we might be able to take out another point on that.
That was going to be my question.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it matters to us if it goes the other way, a half a point either.
No, I think if anything, it either stays at 6 or goes up. I don't see it going into the 5s.
Yeah.
So stars right now are Wisconsin 35, Oklahoma 30, and a possible tease Georgia -4, Clemson -6.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Are there any other games that you like on the board?
This is probably going to draw a couple laughs, but I like the Longhorns.
I don't even know who they play.
They're -23 at home against Tulsa.
I actually don't mind that play either.
I thought they just ran into a probably better than advertised Maryland team who may be more athletic and obviously was playing with a ton of emotion.
Yeah. I would be okay starring that one. I have two other ones.
Go for it.
Florida -14 versus Kentucky.
When was the last time Kentucky beat Florida?
I don't know. But Dan Mullen also 8-1 against Kentucky when he was at Mississippi State.
I like that play.
So I think that line is a little bit generously low.
2-9 against the spread. Kentucky is at their last 11 against Florida.
I'm looking at the Texas game. I agree with you. I'm okay with that as an official.
Okay. And who was your other one?
My other one, if we're going back to the well, I think we've probably gone to this well more than any other team the last 2 years. We're going Duke Northwestern, and you already know where I'm going to go. We're going to go with the Dukies again in a good spot. I think last year left a bad taste in their mouth, so I'm going to go back with Duke. They're my favorite team to bet on.
I really liked Duke at the beginning of this week, especially when I saw the stat that how much Purdue dominated that game against Northwestern, outgained them. I didn't think Northwestern looked great. Duke with some revenge. I just don't know if I can pull the trigger on it.
Noon game on a Saturday. I think these games where Duke plays a perceived evenly matched opponent, you know, when they're like that 3-point line, I feel like they always come through for us.
All right, I can get behind it.
we can wait. I don't think there's any way it gets to 3.5. If it gets to 3.5, it can only help us. So.
All right, we'll hold Duke.
Unless you're worried about 2.5, that's the other thing.
Hold Duke and hold Arizona State. Official on Texas -23. Official on Florida -14. I don't want to do Wisconsin. I don't want to do Oklahoma. I could get behind the tees.
I'm hesitant on the tees.
All right, we'll hold that one.
I'd rather be smart about it.
USC +6 official, Texas -23, Florida -14. We're holding Duke and Arizona State right now. I like it.
I do too. I like that card.
To the varsity. One game in the books. Let me get your thoughts as a non-biased person in this.
I thought it was a good game for Philly. From the perspective that they sort of won an ugly game. I like teams that can win in multiple ways, multiple fashions. They beat New England the last time we saw them in a shootout, and now this time they kind of won it. I don't even want to call it a defensive struggle, but just an ugly game. Their defense looked really good. I was impressed with their secondary specifically. I know Julio got his and probably should have had a lot more, but he's going to do that to most teams. I think they did exactly what you have to do, though. Kind of let him get chunk yardage and shut down everybody else. They were fine. Offensively, it was ugly for Philly, but that was kind of to be expected from my point of view. On the other side, Matt Ryan looked like a noodle arm, and Steve Sarkisian, I don't know what he was doing. It was bizarre. It's almost like he freezes in the red zone and doesn't know what to do.
When I woke up today, I expected Steve Sarkisian to no longer have a job. What did he do all off season?
I don't know. That's what's bizarre. It's usually a team's biggest deficiency. That's what they fix, and some other deficiencies will pop up. But almost always that glaring one from an X's and O's or scheme standpoint gets sort of patched up. I don't know. I can't explain it.
I know Matt Ryan wasn't great, and maybe I don't.
He looked bad. His arm looked bad.
Yeah, he looked so hesitant last night. He looked great on the first drive. I imagine those were 15 scripted plays that he was ready for. But after that, he looked really hesitant, held the ball. Maybe I'm overreacting, but I don't remember Julio Jones making a play in traffic when you need him to.
Everyone thinks that it's schematic or it's kind of fluky. I'm glad you bring this up because I don't think it's a fluke when the guy hasn't scored double-digit touchdowns before. Maybe he did it once. I can't remember now. It's either once or zero in his career. How can you be that great if you don't score? But I think that's part of it. He does not catch the ball within contact, and he's almost scared of the contact.
He runs great routes in the middle of the field, and it's credit to him. Every time he catches it, he's wide open. Nobody's really hanging on him most of the time because of his routes. But when it comes in the red zone, I was not scared of him at all last night. The guy I was scared most of was Tevin Coleman, who scored.
I love Tevin Coleman.
He scored earlier in the game. I have no idea how he did not get at least one touch late in the last drive.
It was almost a mirror image of last year's title game, or game against Atlanta, when Tevin Coleman had the big first couple series, and then it was almost like someone put him into witness protection. I don't know what the deal is.
Atlanta is going to be fine defensively against smaller offensive lines where they could use their speed. But I thought Philly really pushed their will in the fourth quarter against the smaller defense at Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Philly's defensive line, though, from a power perspective, is probably top 2 or 3 in the league. So that wasn't surprising.
That side, I was referring to Philly's offensive line pushing Atlanta's defensive line in the fourth.
Atlanta's slight. I mean, Vic Beasley's put on weight, but he's been a tweener his whole career. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Jason Peters looked awesome and had zero problems with him all night.
Yeah, I assume that they built this Atlanta team to play with the lead defensively. But if they're not going to score in the red zone, I think that's a major issue late in games.
I think it's a major issue all game because then I think you're worried about pressing, knowing that if you get it within the 20, you're going to struggle.
I don't want to overreact. It seems like week 1 to week 2 in college and NFL is just hilarious, some of the takes you see.
Yeah.
But Atlanta's next 4 games, they got 3 home games, but it's Carolina, New Orleans, Cincinnati, and then at Pittsburgh.
It's tough slate, and I agree. I don't want to overreact, but I get concerned when it's the same issues over and over.
I agree. Any other thoughts before we go to Sunday's games and lines?
I don't think so, no.
1 o'clock in the Dog Pound. Opened -7. It is now Steelers -4 at Cleveland.
Sounds like no Le'Veon Bell. Even if he does report, I'm not doubting he plays. James Conner gets the Bell, who I think is going to be okay. But main issue I think this could be a game for the ages weather-wise. It could be a monsoon, 20, 30 mile an hour winds. It could be pretty awesome to watch on TV.
Well, I think that plays perfectly into Tyrod Taylor's hands, who doesn't turn the ball over.
Agreed.
Your thoughts?
Cleveland's defense to be improved this year too.
Your thoughts on the Le'Veon Bell situation?
Look, I think everyone should do what they feel is best for themselves and their family. He probably has been underpaid. I think he and his agent have made a mistake in thinking that Pittsburgh was going to be all of a sudden a different organization than what they've been the last 50 years. You either take the fair market deal they offered, because they're not going to pay you 20% more than what they deem you're worth. They've never done it. Why would they start now? I think they kind of overplayed their hand. And I don't know how a 27-year-old is going to sit out all year and get the money he's looking for next year. I'm not sure it's going to happen that way.
How do you see it playing out?
I have a hard time believing he's going to leave all that money on the table. He comes in and signs. He already gave up, I believe, $900,000. I would expect that to take its toll, and I'm not sure how he's going to pass up on $14 million. So I expect him to come in and sign. They'll run him into the ground, and he will go elsewhere next year.
Does he report before the Kansas City game next week?
I think so,
yeah. Maybe I'm in the minority. I know in this podcast I've been down on Mike Tomlin. I think it's time for him to move on.
I agree. I think Terry Bradshaw said the other day, when asked about him, he is not my kind of coach, quote unquote.
I think there's issues in that organization that are going to come out when Ben leaves, when Tomlin leaves. I have them 11-5 when we spoke Wednesday. I'm completely wrong on that.
I can see where you're going here, and if there was some sort of 2-year future bet when Ben retires, I would love to bet on an absolute implosion.
Yeah, I mean, Tomlin, you can't argue with his record. He's had success. He's won a Super Bowl. But I almost see it as the Andy Reid Philly situation, that it's just time for a change for both sides.
Fair point, yeah.
I think
so too.
It's gotten to the point that I don't even know if Roethlisberger respects him.
I think the Todd Haley reports were sort of a cover-up for Ben just not liking any of the coaches.
Which way do you lean in this game?
I would lean Cleveland right now, actually.
I think I'm with you. Do you like them outright?
I would definitely be okay with a money line, but I think getting more than that field goal with the weather and how I expect this game to be sloppy is very valuable.
I don't have an official there. I don't know if I could pull the trigger on the Browns. I know we love shitty teams, but
well, my 3 or 4 likes this week are all shitty teams, so get ready.
Right now it's just a lean, but that could change.
Yeah.
1 o'clock in the Dome, Minnesota, 6.5-point favorites against the Jimmy G-led Niners. This opened -5.
The Jerick McKinnon injury, I think, is a big deal in this game specifically. He's the only kind of threat, I think, out of the backfield that they had. I would be concerned about Minnesota now really getting after Jimmy G. The Niners defense, I think, is going to be better. So I do expect them to give Cousins some issues, but under the touchdown, I would lean Minnesota.
After what we saw in Philly last night, it seemed like there was some rust factor from guys not playing in the preseason.
Definitely.
Cousins has not played much with these guys. Do you expect a bigger rust factor?
New system, new guys. Yeah, I don't see why there wouldn't be a ton of rust. He has come out in the past pretty sharp to start the year, so I think he gets it going a little bit. I think this is one of those kind of 21-13-ish games. I don't think there's a ton of scoring here.
Yeah, I think this is a pretty good number. I don't really have a play either way.
No, I don't either. Just if you're making me, I would lean Minnesota just by default.
One stat that I just came across going back to that Pitt game, Greg Williams has gone against Roethlisberger 4 times since 2013. He's held him to under 200 passing yards in all 4 games.
Wow.
Roethlisberger, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a lost fumble, sacked 10 times.
I like that.
And
another Greg Williams nugget, if you watched Hard Knocks, I'm assuming, I like Greg Williams a lot more after watching Hard Knocks.
I agree with that. The other thing is, you mentioned Todd Haley. He gets his chance to revenge with the Steelers.
He might be handcuffed a little with the weather, but that's another good angle for sure.
Colts minus 2.5 hosting the Bengals. Colts open minus 1.5.
Oh God, I think I'm out of this game. But if I had to pick, I think I would lean Cincinnati. Actually,
I'm with you. I don't know what to think of Andrew Luck right now.
I know that's kind of where I'm at. I have a hard time believing he just suits up in his old Andrew Luck.
If my Bengals are going 10-6 like I thought they were, this is a game they need to have.
Yeah, this is a must-win.
So I do lean Bengals.
I love that you picked a team with a must-win game week 1.
In your neck of the woods, the Barnacle Scrapers minus 7.5 hosting the Bills. This opened minus 3 a couple months ago, so don't take that to heart.
I have a religious rule not to bet on 7.5 lines, so it goes against everything I stand for. But I think the Scrapers of Barnacles win this game by 30 plus. I honestly think this is the biggest blowout of the weekend.
Official. I love the Ravens as well.
Oh my God, this is gonna rip our hearts out when they win by 6.
Backdoor by Peterman.
Yeah, I think the defense scores at least one time here, maybe 2. I think Alex Collins has a big day. I like 30-7 type of win.
Since 2014, Baltimore has held their Week 1 opponents to an average of 12 points and 245 yards, going 4-0.
Yeah, I don't see that changing.
Yeah. I like the Ravens, and I like them big, as you said.
Yeah.
Ravens minus 7.5 official.
Yeah, I love it.
A game that I really like, so I'm interested to get your thoughts. In the Meadowlands, the Jaguars are 3-point road favorites. This line open 3 has not moved off the number. Jags with the revenge, Patriots spot on deck.
I know you love the Giants here, but this is a pretty big game for my Jaguars over. So I don't know. Everything is telling me line-wise and betting-wise to take the Giants. For some reason, I don't know. There's something holding me back here. But I know how much you love it, so I'm okay.
We're a team effort here. I mean, I like the spot. I like everything about it. I don't like Eli Manning. I don't like Eli against that defense at all.
It's one of those things where the look ahead does concern me to New England. But that defense is so good, even if they're not 100% going at it, I think they could turn Eli over, one of those back-breaking pick sixes.
I wish that I knew that Fournette was going to touch it 30 times. I don't like Bortles in New York.
This is another one, obviously, East Coast, Midwest, where weather could be a huge issue. This far east, we'll have to wait a little longer to see, but I think this is another game that's going to be plagued by weather, which I think plays into Jacksonville's hands.
I lean Giants, but we'll stay away from that one. Saints, 9.5-point favorites, hosting the Buccaneers without Jameis. Fitzpatrick gets the start. This opens 7.5.
Fitzpatrick's confident. I don't really know how much of a downgrade that is, especially from a point spread wise. Probably too much for me, so I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, this game burned us a couple times in the past.
Exactly.
So I have nightmares about it.
Yeah, very similar where you think one side is pretty much a lock and something happens.
The point spread may have been the same as well when we got burned last time.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I expect the Saints to roll, but I wouldn't recommend the play.
No.
Pats minus 6.5 hosting the Texans. Open 7s, dropped a half point.
I sort of want to get on Houston here. I think they could come out firing, and I think New England's actually a decent matchup where, from two perspectives, Watson's not going to get any pressure on him from New England because they don't have any pass rushers, and they haven't for the last 5 years. So I think he could have a monster day. And on the other side, Houston loves to pressure up the middle with Merciless and Watt, and that is really what Brady does not like. I smell a little something up there.
I also lean Texans.
Yeah.
Super Bowl losers, 6-7 straight up. Last 13, 2-11 against the spread in week 1 of the following season.
Great stat.
1-7 against the spread when facing a team they played the previous year.
Oh, interesting. I love this now.
I'm on Houston as well.
All right, official.
Do we wait to try and get 7 again, or do we take it at the 6.5?
Yeah, we might as well wait for 7, right?
I think so.
6.5 and 6 and 5.5 don't mean much to us.
No. Titans minus 1.5. Go to Miami. Open 2.5. It's dropped a point. Thoughts?
I'm going to probably surprise you because I know you're a Tennessee fanboy. I like Miami here. I think this is maybe their only good spot of the year. But I think Tennessee's going to be a public play, and I like the home dog.
I lean Miami as well. Going through the schedule, I had this as a Dolphin win.
Interesting.
I worry a little bit about Tannehill not playing in so long.
I think that's a good thing for him. Because, they can't get in a shitty rhythm.
I don't know if I can pull the trigger, but I do lean Miami.
Yeah, I haven't started, so we can wait, but I think I like it.
Okay. I'll put the star here as well. 4 o'clock games. LA Chargers. I don't know how much of a home field advantage it is, but they host the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers open 3. It is now 3.5.
People love the Chargers for the year, for this game. This is another one where I'm going to go the other way and take the 3.5. I think Andy Reid week 1 is kind of hard to plan for. And I think Patrick Mahomes might have a monster day. I just have a weird feeling about this game.
I like it at the 3.5. I would lean Chiefs as well. I think Andy, with time to prepare as he has, is going to have a good game plan for Mahomes, as you mentioned. I think Hunt will have a decent day, and I think Phil Rivers, we see what he did a lot last year, throws a timely interception.
Yeah, exactly.
I lean Chiefs as well.
Interesting. Lots of agreement, which can only mean disaster.
4:25 games. Our wagon, the Denver Broncos -3 against the Seahawks. Opened 1.5.
Love it. I'm already on our Broncos week 1. I liked them before we made them our wagon. I like them even more. I think this is a great spot for them.
Official.
Yeah.
Keenum 2-0 straight up and against the spread versus Seattle in his career. Russell Wilson 1-6 straight up and against the spread in his team's first road game of the year.
Bringing the stats today.
So Broncos official?
Yeah.
-3.
Yeah.
Carolina -3 at home hosting the Cowboys. Open 2.5.
I wanted to like Carolina here, but 68% of the public's on them. I mean, Dallas is just decimated, but there's something about Carolina I just don't like, and I'm gonna try to field them out for a couple weeks.
I agree with you. This is a stay away from me. I don't know what to expect on either side of the coin.
Yeah.
Arizona -1 hosting your Hearts. Thoughts?
Kind of similar teams if you look at it. Bradford and Smith are very similar how they play when they're both healthy. I think both defenses have some playmakers kind of the same. David Johnson, to me, the X factor. He could, if he has a big game, I think Arizona wins. But I don't know. I don't love either side here.
I think I lean Arizona just for the simple fact of Johnson, as you mentioned. But I don't feel confident in it at all.
Yeah, that's where I would lean. I don't know. Maybe I don't trust Bradford or something. But Chandler Jones also kind of an underrated pass rusher. I think could get to Smith a few times. But yeah, like you said, I don't love it.
8:30 game. We'll see probably limited Khalil Mack, but they go to Lambeau. Open 9. It's now 7.5.
Oh, God, I really want to like the Bears here. I'm just waiting for someone to tell me to do it.
I'm not going to be that person.
I don't know. Something about Green Bay I just don't like. Oh, I think it's a lot. I don't like their defense. Maybe I'm bringing too much of season long into play, but I think the Bears could give them issues.
They have a balanced offense if Trubisky takes that step forward.
I'm a little worried they're going to come out too conservative with him. So that might be why I'm waffling here.
I think it's a stay away.
Oh, definitely stay away. But I want to pick the Bears.
Monday night doubleheader starts in Detroit. Lions 6.5, open 6.5, hosting Jets.
If this was almost any other team, I would love the home team getting a rookie quarterback first start on the road. But I can never trust Detroit ever.
I think that's like a rule.
It's a rule. It's number 2 of my betting religion rules.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree. I'll stay away too. I don't have a lean either way.
Yeah.
Rams concluding week 1. Go to Oakland. This was a pick. It is now -4 in favor of the Rams.
This seems too good to be true, and I'm guessing that's why 76% of the public is on the Rams. I kind of want to see where this line goes. There's going to be some movement, I think. Because right now it's in no man's land when it should be, I feel like it should be 6.5-ish. So it's kind of a weirdly low line.
It always seems this doubleheader, the second half of it, weird stuff happens.
That's a good way to put it.
So I would highly recommend going to bed before it even starts.
Yeah, I like that play.
Yeah, I have no feel. I am interested to see what Goff looks like.
Yeah, me too. I do think, fantasy-wise, I think Gurley has an absolute monster night.
Yeah, I'm with you. What do you expect from the Raiders offense?
I actually don't think they'll be that bad. I think Carr will have a bounce back here. I think Cooper will have a bounce back here. I worry about Marshawn. It's got to end at some point. I think for me, it's their defense I worry more about. But I think they'll be able to score somewhat.
Yeah, I agree with that. So officials for the week are Ravens -7.5, the Broncos -3, and we're waiting on the line for the Texans 6.5 currently against New England.
I like that we have a couple like shitty team bets like usual, and then we're betting on the heaviest public side, Baltimore, that could possibly exist.
Other games where we agreed on, I'll run through them quickly in case you've really swayed in favor. The Browns.
No, I want to wait till the weather, a morning of weather forecast.
The Bengals.
Oh, man. I think maybe we need to phone a friend and get some advice from a pod friend in that department.
I agree with you.
He's usually pretty accurate with the Domers.
The Dolphins.
I'm okay with the Dolphins. I think we should get weird week 1.
You okay at 1.5, or would you like to wait on the line?
I think we might as well wait because the only way it's going to go, I think, is up. If it goes down, then we're pulling the trigger immediately.
Okay. Agree? And the Chiefs.
Let's wait on the Chiefs. That's probably the one I'm least confident in.
If you had to make an eliminator pick this week, it would be?
It would be Balmer.
I'm with you. Season over-unders. Now that we've had a couple days to think about it. Bills under 6.
Like it.
That's an official if you're on it.
I'm definitely on it.
Bengals 6.5. Start as an over.
If you want it, we can do it.
I'm on it.
Alright, let's do it.
Bengals 6.5. We had 3 stars from the AFC South. It was Jags over 9, Texans under 8.5, Colts under 6.5.
I have cooled on all 3. That division, I feel like, could be very topsy-turvy.
Agreed. I assume we're going Broncos over 7.
I like it.
And Raiders under 7.5.
Like it.
On the NFC side, Giants over 7, Cowboys under 8.5.
I like the Cowboys a little more.
I think it's just a lean for me.
Okay, let's stay away then.
Lions under 7.5. If we're going by the Bible, this is turn the page.
I don't want any part of this.
Buccaneers under 6.5.
Love it.
That's an official. 49ers under 8.5.
Man, I just can't see them winning 9 games. I like Jimmy G, but I don't know. I feel like it's a year too soon.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it may be a stay away though.
Okay.
But I could get behind it if you like it.
8.5, man. So they're gonna go 9-7. Is that? Are we?
Let me run through the schedule really quick.
Do we really think that?
At Minnesota.
I have that as a loss.
Detroit at home.
Win.
At Kansas City.
Loss.
At Chargers.
Probably loss.
Arizona at home.
Win.
At Green Bay.
Loss.
Rams at home.
Oof, total toss-up.
All right, we'll give them a win.
Okay.
That's 3 and 4. At Cardinals.
I guess win.
4 and 4. Raiders home.
Win.
5 and 4. Giants home.
Fuck. That's going to be the key game of the whole year. I think they lose that game, actually.
That's 5 and 5. Then they have a bye at Bucks.
Oh, win, I guess.
6 and 5 at Seahawks.
Yeah, let's stay away. I don't like where
Yeah.
this is headed already.
Yeah.
Their schedule's not that bad.
So the officials for over/under plays: Bills under 6, Bengals over 6.5, Broncos over 7. Raiders under 7.5. Bucks under 6.5.
Yeah, I like that. We don't even need San Francisco.
Anything else you want to touch upon on NFL?
No, enjoy week 1.
Great job. I cannot wait to come back next week and overreact.
That's my favorite part of the year. Awesome stats from the host today.
Great job by you. We'll talk soon.